Hey everyone, it's Dan with Trading Hawk, and really fast, I just want to go over how we're setting up coming into Monday. So on Friday, we had an inside day, meaning that we traded inside the prior day's range, right? So on Thursday, on Friday, we traded inside of Thursday's range, and if you look back to any inside day break, usually we do build value higher or lower once the inside day breaks. Okay, so let's just look back, for example. And if you look back, usually most of the time, when we do break the inside day to the downside or upside, we do end up either going directional or building a value higher or lower, right? So let's just go back and look at the last few inside day breaks. And this is not a cherry picked recording. I'm just looking at the last few inside day breaks, okay? There's one right here, but this one didn't really give a valid entry point. Yeah, it bounced off this high right here, but ideally you want to buy against value area high if it's on the upside or the inside daybreak high. This is just way too far out. The risk reward didn't make sense buying here when the invalidation point is back into the into value, right, on the prior day, right? So this didn't make sense. So this is a skip this one, ignore this one right here. There's an inside day over here, but it is coming from a really big range day, right? So it's not as tight, but the first test back into the POC on the inside day break did provide a 6 or 7 point bounce or so, so that's also valid. But let's keep going. Inside day break right here. We pushed up and rejected value area low, and we came back down, right? So inside day break over here, we broke out of this day, and the first push back up into value area low provided us with a from 50s down to low 30s, so just under 20 points, right? 18 points off this retest of value area low once we open below the inside day, right, from this day. So that's another one. Inside day break over here. The first push back up into the prior day's low was rejected for about 6 points or so, and the first push back up into value area low was rejected as well for about 8 points over here. Going back. Inside day break over here. Again, this was a bit of a wide range, but not as wide as the last one we just saw. You can see the first move back down into value area high. This was actually pretty much perfect. Was bought back up against it, and we went trend right, trend up. That was nice. 15 points or so plus, right? Let's go back even more. Inside day break over here, right here. The first push back down into value area high again was bought back up, right? Went trend again. Inside day break over here. The first push back up into value area low pretty much failed. We pulled back like 1 point and then we pushed back above. This would have given you enough time though to exit for a 1 to 2 point loss if you shorted 75 area or 74 area. You would have been out once you started to accept back into prior day's value. You would have been out because now we're accepting and not rejecting, right? So this would have been a very small stop considered relative to the prior wins, right? So this was the first loser we had, and so this was the first loser we had, and we had so far 6-7+ winners, right? So win rate so far is still pretty high, fading an inside day break, the first test back into the prior day's range, right? Inside day break over here, and it bounced immediately off the just a few ticks ahead of the prior day's high and went trend again. This may have been a bit more difficult to get on board. Yes, you could have bought anywhere in here once we failed to get back below this high and hold below, you could have been buying the first dip back down with a stop below this low, right? That was valid. Obviously, this is in hindsight. It's a bit more difficult in real time, but still, it's good to know how they play out, right? Inside daybreak over here. The first move back down to value area high was bought back up and we went small chop and then back trend, right? Inside daybreak over here. Immediately opened up and rejected value area low and sold off. Snapped the lows. That was the short signal. At 48 with a stop above 50. If you got back into value area low and accepted, so it's a 2-point stop and you get a target of a directional day. So ideally mid 30s. So a 5-to-1 reward to risk on this right here. If you took this, I did take this. I remember this day. Inside daybreak over here. The first push back down into value area high, bought back up. So I can keep going on and on and on. You can just see for yourself how often they work versus how often they don't work, right? They work very, very often. The first test back up into value area high if it was an inside daybreak to the upside, or value area low, the first test back up into that area if it was inside daybreak to the downside, right? It's very high odds that we do reject on the first test. So coming into Monday, I'm looking at this. If we do reject and break to the downside below 72, I'm looking to play the first move back up into value area low or 72 for a short back down into the gap fill, and that can potentially even flip long mid 40s, considering that's a multi-week balance range breakout for a move back up into mid 60s, and that could be a nice swing for me. Or if we do break out to the upside, I'm looking at taking the first test back down into value area high for a long up into 3000. So this is what I'm looking at coming into Monday. I hope you guys all took something away from this. If you did not know what an inside daybreak was or how often they worked, I hope this can shine some light on you. And I do recommend looking back at the last 20, 30 inside daybreaks and seeing how they played out, so you can have a firm understanding, at least somewhat of an understanding of how they play out, and you can be more prepared coming into Monday tomorrow. If we do break out either to the upside or downside, at least you'll have an idea what to expect, right? So I'll see you guys all tomorrow before the stream, and wish you all a wonderful night.